Hello and welcome to our mini webinar on digital breakouts and escape rooms. This is a fun one because digital breakouts and escape rooms are something that you can do from home. So as long as your students have access to a device of some sort, they can participate. Or if you're doing them live in a Google Meet like this, you could have one device working and the students can participate that way. So let's get started and kind of go through them a little bit here. Just going to hit present so you can see the presentation on your screen. If you want a copy of this, and I will drop it in the chat at the end as well, but I did put a little bit.ly on the bottom. It's BO Escape. It's actually all lowercase. I just realized I used a font that's all capitalized, but it's all lowercase for you to get that because it is case sensitive. So I'll adjust that as well too. So we're going to be talking more about digital breakouts and talk a little bit about how escape rooms work and how you can do this with remote learning. That'll be our focus today. Once we're back in the classroom, shifting these to be physical breakouts is something that I'll show you where the platform is and how to access them. But digital breakouts can totally be done in your classroom as well. I've done even blended ones where part of it is digital, where they do some things online, and then other parts are with a box or with an envelope or whatever resources I had available to me in the classroom. So we're going to talk a little bit about all those. But first, let's talk about what these are. So the idea of a digital escape room or breakout of any kind is that you have to solve clues to unlock different parts of the game. And the faster you do it, the more points you earn or the more likely you are to complete it. The idea is not everyone breaks out. There should be groups that possibly don't or individuals, and it's okay because we all learn together, right? Fail forward. You learn from your failure much more than you learn from your successes. So the idea with digital escape rooms is to really challenge students, and sometimes they'll be successful, sometimes they won't. You know your students. If you know that they're a group of kids that can't fail, or maybe that's going to set them off in a way you don't want them to set off, then you're going to offer more hints to kind of help them out, to kind of guide them through. If you know that your students can handle it, you give them a set amount of time. If they finish it during that time, they have broken out, great. If they don't, they don't. And then you talk about what worked, what didn't work, what they could do better the next time, and maybe give them that challenge another time. So the idea with this is that you're constantly getting your kids to think critically, to collaborate, and to really communicate as a group to solve the clues. I'll give you a perfect example of when it doesn't work. I was in a 10th grade science class, and we were doing a breakout on healthy foods. And there was a group that was not working well together. They each took their own part and kind of silently worked. And so they were able to do ones that some of the kids got right away, but then the other kids didn't even get access to be able to figure it out and work together. And they weren't able to break out. But I had another group in that same breakout that really communicated well together, and they were able to share information, but they didn't always listen to each other. So I had one boy in there who kept saying, I think the answer to this one is whatever it was, and nobody listened to him, but it was totally the right answer. And if they had just taken the moment to listen, they would have been able to break out a lot faster. So it's having these conversations and showing students how communication works and how there is a listening, a giving, and a taking that can make this be successful. Who's most successful in digital breakout rooms? I will tell you, it's the kids that you typically expect to be your behavior issues in your classroom. They tend to do very well with digital breakouts or breakouts in general. Your special ed kids tend to do very well with escape rooms and digital breakouts. They tend to be the ones that blossom. The ones that struggle the most are your high-end kids. Why is that? Well, I think the reason for that has a lot to do with your special ed kids, or maybe the kids that normally have behavior issues in your class, are used to persevering. They're used to failure, and they're not afraid sometimes to take those chances because they've been there before, they know what it's like, and they're willing to go there again. While your high-end kids, everything seems to come very easy to them sometimes, and so they struggle when they hit something that's hard. So I have noticed that. So I was actually in a second grade class during a breakout once, and there was a student in there that the teacher said, oh, he's a handful. And so, I put him in one of the groups, and we were doing the breakout, and he naturally became the leader of that group. He assigned jobs for everyone in the group. He was encouraging, he was offering positive feedback. And at the end, he came up to me and said, this was the best day I ever had. And it was such a nice feeling because he felt empowered to be able to do things the way he likes to. It was interactive, it was active. It allowed him to take that leadership role that he naturally felt comfortable in. And so the teacher was able to embed some of those more in the classroom after that, because she found that that actually helped the student learn and be engaged. So that's what digital escape rooms are, to give you a very long explanation. It's a way to they have these clues to unlock different games. I thought we would try one, and this is where you can unmute. But if you have a copy of this, click the little here button. Or if you don't want to do that right now, you can just watch with me as we go through what a digital breakout kind of looks. And what we're using right now is BreakoutEDU. Every day at 2 o'clock, BreakoutEDU does a live breakout. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes to kind of go through the video and try to solve the clues, but you can continue on beyond that time period if you need to answer them. And I've done these with my family. My kids are both teenagers, and some of the clues are really easy and some of them are really hard. So bless you. So as we're going through, I'm going to ask you guys to offer your feedback on this one. But this one is a technology time travel one. It's a free one that I just found on the BreakoutEDU site. The information at the top says you were able to make a time machine and travel back to time where many of our everyday items we use today aren't even thought about. You have the ability to change history. You can introduce different inventions to the people of the past to change how they function. But you need to hurry. Your time machine needs to travel back or you'll be stuck in the past. So they always give you a little like blurb at the top, and then you'll see that you have all of these different locks right up here. And it says, please select your lock from above. So we're actually just going to go in order, and you can see the different types of locks that they have: alphabet ones, shapes, directionals, colors, and numbers. And those are your typical ones you'll see on the platform. So when I click on the ABC one, it's going to open up and I'm going to see these images. And it says, work and play used to have to be done during daylight because the sun or a candle was the only light they had. Now we have cities that never sleep because of electricity. So we see these images here, and we have to decide what the word is that's going to fit in that combination. So shout out ideas if you think you know what it is. Anyone have an idea? You can unmute and answer if you'd like. All right, I'll give you the first clue. So when I first looked at this one, I thought, because it says never sleep, I thought it was New York City, but it didn't fit number or letters wise. So then I realized they're talking about the light that we have, the invention, because remember this one is about different inventions. So then I realized it had to be light bulb. So I type in that. It fits. So then I hit the submit button at the bottom here, and it turned green. So I know I've got that one. So now I'm going to go over the shapes one. And again, I'm going to get a clue. It says, with the introduction of machines like cranes, fewer people are needed to complete certain tasks, such as shelter, building a barn, building a gem of a skyscraper, building the ancient pyramids, lifting a box. The use of machines makes jobs less strenuous on the body. So what shapes do you think, or what order of shapes do you think it's going to go in this one? Anyone want to hanker a guess?
Would this be something we just pick? Anything?
Yeah, you could totally try different things based on what you think it might be. And then if it's wrong, it'll tell you it's wrong. So like if I went circle, 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 which I know is the wrong one, and I hit submit, it's going to say, no, try again.
Okay. So maybe triangle, triangle, square. I don't know.
Triangle, diamond, triangle, square.
All right. So somebody said triangle, triangle, square, triangle. I'm going to do that one first. That one's not right. Say that one again.
Triangle, diamond, triangle, square.
Nope. Try again.
Can you bring down the picture so we can see it?
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe triangle. I can't see anything in the building one.
They've outlined this shape right up here.
Oh, okay. So maybe square. Triangle, square, circle.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, you have too many in there.
Okay, I don't know. I'm trying.
All right, so I'm going to give you a hint. All right, so, and normally if you're doing this with your students, you have a choice to do that too. And just because of time's sake, I want to give it to you. I know you're not frustrated yet. But notice that they have some underlined letters under the words here.
Okay.
All right. And then they mention a word right here.
Body. Okay.
Correct. So what do you think the shapes are going to be?
So it's going to be triangle, square, square.
That's actually a triangle in there.
Oh, okay.
And
oh, that's a diamond? Oh, okay, yeah.
I believe it's a diamond. Yeah, because I remember when I went through, I was thinking it was a rectangle. Yep. All right. So that's how you do this one. So the next one is directionals. So they're going to give you this clue. It says technology changes have allowed for the faster production of products and increased variety of products. With the invention of an assembly line, Henry Ford was able to crank out an automobile from 12 hours down to 2 hours and 30 minutes. So they give you these shapes, and you can always open up the clues in a larger screen. So if your students have visual needs, or like me, just need things larger, you certainly can do that. I'm just doing this so we can stay on the same page. So here are our directionals that we have. We have to give 3 directions.
Now, can the kids all access this at the same time and try to type it in, or is just one facilitator the one that's doing it?
Yes, you can send this to each student. They'd have their own link, and they can all do it individually.
Oh, okay. So they'd all be able to participate at the same time.
Exactly. Yep. So what do you think the directions are? No one wants to give a clue? All right. So here we
probably has, oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm thinking it probably has to go with those pictures on the left. So looking at what we see there, I think it's got to be like the arrow pointing to the left. And then that center picture. Would that be the arrow pointing to the right? I'm not even sure what that is in the picture.
Yeah,
and then the lead, which would be going up.
The last one they're putting in the tires.
Yeah, so that is up, right?
You got it. All right, we're going on to the next one.
You guys are really good at this because I have no clue.
And sometimes the clues will come to you right away, and other times you'll be like, yeah, I have no idea. I did a breakout with that was on geometry, and there was one on a basic shape that I totally should have gotten, but the clue made it hard, you know, and my son picked it up right away, and he's like, come on, Mom, you didn't get that. Sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't, and that's the idea, is that you really have to think critically when you're doing these. All right, so the next clue says people used to have to walk everywhere, and they would not be able to run out and get something if they forgot it from the market. With the invention of the car, train, plane, and trolley, families were able to get around faster. Select the colors in the sequence that you wish to open the lock. 4 colors.
Purple, blue, orange, green.
Purple, blue, orange, green. Let's see if you are correct. Good job. So that was in the order they listed them in the sentence, was the order of the colors. So good job. All right. And the last clue here. It says, with inventions like the telephone, new jobs were created to use them, like phone operators. As the phone has evolved and able to, I can't see what the word is, able to make calls to larger places and even wireless, jobs also have had to change. Select the number that would open the lock. Anyone know what this one would be?
I'm assuming you have to use the keypad to type in the word phone.
Yep. So what letter, what numbers would that be? So it is 7,
4, 6,
6,
3.
6, 3. All right, you did it. So then once you've unlocked all of them, you get a congratulations, you made it back to present day and time. So that's how a digital one would work on the BreakoutEDU format. And that their platform has a lot of free ones. So even if your school doesn't have a paid subscription, and some of your schools do, check with whoever would let you know those things in your school. They're offering a lot of it for free right now. So they've got 1,500 games that are normally available. I'm not sure how many are free, but they have this Breakout Home that you can play the different games for free. So they have some paid. Here's some paid ones. But let me show you where the free ones are. Let me go back. One of the things with Breakout is when you start playing them is they have that you end up, they keep opening up in new tabs. You end up with like a ton of tabs open every time you're in. So if I go to BreakoutEDU, .com, and I do /live. Every day they have a live one, like I said, at 2 o'clock Eastern time. So today is, Monday. Today is about money. Tomorrow's art, then speeches, flowers, and movies. They give away real prizes. So every day they give away, this week is a Sphero Bolt. They give you away a kit that they want you to donate to your teacher. And they have actual home games that you can play at home. You can also still play all the old past episodes. So that geometry one I was mentioning is right here. You can do that. And they started very basic ones. So so it might be, what is a square kind of thing, or how many sides does a square have? Might be some sort of clue along that for the basic one. And then that last one, oh, that says geography. There was a geometry one. Shapes, that's it. When you get to that last one, it can be much more difficult. So on the shapes one, they give you a bunch of different shapes and you have to add up the angles. So it could get a lot harder as they go through. Some of them are going to be very basic. And some of them, you might need a little extra help with. So I would say any grade level could probably handle it, especially with a parent helping them, or if you're doing them with your students. And then what they do is they fill out a Google form once they've completed it with their name, their parents' email, and their teacher's email. And that way they get entered into the prizes. They don't have to enter in if they just want to play the game for fun. So they're always available for you. And they give you the directions on how you can invite your students to play by going through the whole thing and where the form is and all that. So that's on the BreakoutEDU site. Also, if you create an account, and you can create an account for free, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to have pages to kind of view the site. So let me go in here. I'll just say I'm elementary. I don't usually use this link, so it doesn't want me to put this in. I usually use a different email address when I'm on. So, all right. So once you're on, you can purchase the platform, and I don't remember what it is now. It's like 100 and something a year or something like that. But there's a whole bunch of different free ones that are available for you that are digital. So, and that's where you kind of want to focus now, is on the digital games. And then you can also see that they have the different platforms based on whether or not you need a kit, whether or not you can do, the different ones that way. So once you're in, you can click on Breakout from home, and then they have all these that are free for you to use. The one I grabbed that we just did is here. I actually picked one of the K2 ones for us to try, just to kind of keep it simple. But you can see that they can get pretty intricate as you go up in the grade levels. I would definitely start with something that's under their grade level to start them out, if possible, just so they get the idea of how it works. Because the first one is always harder. Once they understand what they kind of have to look for, it gets a little easier as they go through. And the more you do them, the better you get at, because you start to see patterns and that sort of thing. So that's all on this BreakoutEDU site. And then, like I said, once you're back in the classroom, they definitely have tons that are available to you on all of these different categories that you can do right at home or right in your school. They have it's all aligned to our curriculum. They have lots of different activities. All of these have a step-by-step procedure on how to set them up. There's usually a video that walks you through the process. They give you all the answers for any of the ones that you have to use the box, but the ones that are the fun at home, you have to actually figure out. So you have to go through and figure out a lot of those on your own before you can actually do them with your students, or try it together, and like I said, sometimes it's okay not to pass and to fail at these. So you can certainly do it that way. Any questions on Breakout before we move on to the next thing? We're good? All right. Moving on then. Okay, so we talked about that. So like I said, some of them are free. There's always daily live games. You can create your own on the platform for free. You don't have to have a paid subscription. Some of the types of locks will be paid, so you can use some of them and not others. So explore the website. Like I said, you'll end up with like 12 different BreakoutEDU tabs open, because it constantly opens a new tab every time you do something. Which is one thing I'm not a big fan of on the site from the teacher end, but it won't do that for students. It keeps them locked on that one page. There's another way that you can create Google or breakouts is through Google Forms. And what you do is you create sections and branching. So I'm going to open this sample up for you. This is a second grade example, but I've used this a lot. Stefan, you might have seen this actually one of our trainings together, but we do these a lot. I do this one a lot in training because I think it's a really well done one. What this second grade teacher did is she created a website, a Google site, that's all this is, where she does famous Americans, and she has all of these different digital breakouts that are available. Each individual one is its own separate breakout. So the students have some choice in what they choose. And the directions are choose which famous American you would like to help escape. I think we've done all of them, or I've been able to accomplish all of them except for one. And I want to say it might be the Abraham Lincoln one, but I could be wrong. There's one clue that we have not been able to figure out. And I don't remember which one it is now. But if you click on any of these, so let me just grab the Jackie Robinson. What it is they give you some information and then they give you images, and she embedded a Google form. And the Google form, as you go through, as you click the different ones, you have to get it right. If you get it right, it unlocks the lock. If you get it wrong, it tells you that it's wrong and it doesn't unlock. And you can set this up in Google Forms by using, what is it called? Let me open a form. Let me grab one here. So if I was setting this up as a breakout, which this one's not, but let's say I was, and I wanted something in here where if they got it right, they can move on. There's these 3 dots on the bottom of your question in a Google form where you can choose whether, that's not right. Let me grab a test one. Well, let me just change this to a test real quick. Or maybe take it out. Where is it? Hang on, give me a second here. There it is. Okay, so it doesn't work on multiple choice. So it's in a checkbox here. See where it says response validation? The students have to pick the right amount. So maybe you want them to click, at least 1 or 2 or whatever it happens to be. If they give the answer correct, then it will move them on. It will go green. If they're wrong, you can tell them what, this is wrong, try again kind of thing. All right, so you can choose to do that or not. If you're in a short answer question, so again, like this one, this long answer text, and I click on response validation, I can put in what I want them to put in for this one. I can give the information or the number or whatever the word has to be. I put that information in and it turns red or green. So in this one, let's say I said 03/30/1977. If I hit enter on this, oh, I got to actually put it in the right order. They tell you how you have to have it set up. Open it up. See where it says here, still locked? That's telling me I have the wrong one, obviously, because I didn't look up the information. But if you get it right, it will turn green, and then you can move on to the next one. So you can set that up as a Google form through that response validation kind of clue, and then you can go through and build from there. So if you want to know how to build your Google form, I figured it would be simpler to give you a blog that kind of walks you through it. So this is going to walk you through how to set up your Google form with the locks, how to do it in the Google form with the response validation, and it'll walk you through every step of the process. I was going to rewrite it, but I found this great blog. I figured this is easier, but it'll show you how to do it. All right. So you have the information after the fact for how to set up your breakouts through there. So I wanted to end today with some resources for you. Again, I gave you that great one that walks you through the steps for setting up your form. And then I'm giving you some examples and some samples for you. So the Ditch That textbook, I know I've shown this before in some of our webinars before, but Matt Miller does a great job at explaining things. So here he's giving you 30 plus digital escape rooms, plus a guide to create your own. So here are some ones that are already kind of put together that you can play around with, and how to build them and how to do everything with them. So he really walks you through that process without me having to reinvent the wheel for you. Here's an example of an escape room. This one is the escape game. Normally these are those ones you see like in the mall, and you can see some of them have a purchase price, but some of them will give you some at-home games that you can do. And you'll see like it says play now, and these will be free for you to use at home. This 80s one looked fun, so I grabbed this one. This is again from another escape room, but they're giving you one that you can do for fun at home. So they're giving you a free one that you can kind of try as a family at home or send out to your students. This is just bringing you back to that free website for BreakoutEDU in case you kind of get lost in there, because there's always so much to have there. Yeah, Google Forms is fun to do it that way. Before they had the digital breakout site on the BreakoutEDU, they had what they called a sandbox. So these are ones that teachers put together, and they're great. This is where I found the one that I've been using, that second grade one with Famous Americans. So these are ones that are already built in for you. They don't give you the answers, so you have to kind of go through and figure them out on your own. But you can see they're based on a lot of books you might have read or different things you might do with your students. So you can go through, and there's 240 different ones that you can kind of play around with on this website. Some of them, because they've been around a little while, I would definitely check them out first, because some of the links might be broken at this point, but I would definitely suggest checking it out, because it does have some great resources for you. There is a COVID-19, of course, escape room that a teacher put together. So you can read through the directions. They give you lots of clues on the left, and then you have your Google form on the right. So same idea as the one I showed you, but this one's on COVID-19. Now, Bitmoji is like a massive craze right now. So here is a video on how to create your own Bitmoji scene, and then how to create it into an escape room. So what this does is she gives you the link to her actual website, and then the template to build your own. And then as the students click different things within this escape room, it brings them out to a cute little video that says, yeah, you found a clue, here's your letter, or nope, try again. And she did all the videos through an app called Chatterpix that can be used on your iPad. It doesn't work on a Chromebook, but it works on an iPad to make the videos, or you can do it on your phone to make the videos and then upload them to YouTube. And then the last one is the sample slide for another way that you could do breakouts or escape rooms right in Google Slides. So this is actually the one that I just showed you there, where the woman had the different parts. Here's the form they fill out, but as they click through and they click on something, it will open up and say,
try again.
All right, so you can see that. Let me see if I can find one that actually had a video.
Great, you found a picture. The first letter of this picture is in the word. Can you guess what the first letter might be?
So what she did is she gives them a first letter of a bunch of clues, and then the students had to unscramble the word on the Google form to break out. So a very simple kind of one, but they just had to find out the word based on all the letters. So when they find all the letters, they unscramble the word to get the word of the day. So cute ideas, I thought, so I wanted to share that with you. Any questions you have for me as we finish up today? Yeah, I haven't given the link yet. Yep, let me put that in. Thank you for reminding me, Julie. Copy the link. Paste it in there. There you go. Any questions, thoughts, other resources that maybe I didn't mention? Yeah, these are really fun. I mean, I'm not sharing my screen anymore, but just doing this quick little thing, I now have like 20 new tabs open, which can get some students lost. And you can build them on anything. Google Slides, you can build them in forms, you can build them on a website. Yeah, kids love them. And I'll tell you, the kids you least expect are the ones that are going to love it the most. And you can, I mean, once they break out, the prize could just be you get a certificate for breaking out or whatever. In the classroom, sometimes teachers put candy or whatever, but really the success of breaking out is what you want. And now they're focused on the actual game versus how hard the math problem might be or whatever it happens to be. So it keeps them really engaged. Yeah, I hope these are helpful for you. If you have any questions, reach out. I am a BreakoutEDU certified trainer, teacher, I don't know, whatever they call you, educator. So I can help you walk through the site if you have any questions there. They may even be offering some sort of free trial or whatever. I didn't look, but I would definitely take a look on their website and do that. The person who created it, his name is Adam Bello. He's the one that actually does the videos at 2 o'clock every day. So if you go on and you see him, he's the inventor of this whole website and game and idea. So really fun. And then when you go back to your schools in the fall, check out whether you have breakout boxes or not, or you can create your own with just a basic toolbox and some locks. So I hope that you give them a try. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you haven't said here in the chat yet, please do so right now. I don't think anyone else added on. I think we're good, or a thank you works too. Thank you. So I can make sure you get credit. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.